Hi, this is Senator Bernie Sanders. Tuesday, June 2nd, is primary election day in New Jersey. Please get out and vote, and please support Dr. Adam Hamawi for the U.S. Congress for the 12th Congressional District in New Jersey. Dr. Hamawi is prepared to stand up to the billionaire class and fight for
Berea, Ohio, a practice field that looks like any other. Sun beating down on turf, cleats digging in, whistles cutting through humid air. But underneath the routine of another summer workout, something bigger is happening. A war for a job that only one man can hold. A war that will decide the fate of an entire franchise. This is the story of Shedeur Sanders and Deshaun Watson, and the battle that has all of Cleveland holding its breath. Rewind to the spring. Watson walks into the building the undisputed favorite. 10 years in the league. A body finally free of the injuries that nearly ended everything. Coaches watch him move, and they see flashes of the old Deshaun, the explosive first step, the elusiveness in the pocket, the arm that once made him one of the most dangerous quarterbacks alive. He is not just healthy. He is dangerous again. And for a franchise that has waited years, bet millions, and staked its future on this one man's recovery, that alone feels like validation. But then something shifts. Quietly, almost without warning, a second name starts pulling attention away from the presumed starter. Shedeur Sanders, just a year removed from being the most talked-about draft prospect in the country, thrown into the fire far earlier than anyone expected. Last season, when the roster crumbled around him, when the team's record read more like a warning than a resume, Sanders was handed the football anyway. Not because the coaches trusted him fully, because they had no other choice. And in that chaos, in 7 desperate late-season starts, something in him hardened. He learned what it means to be picked apart by NFL pass rushers. He learned what interceptions feel like when the whole city is watching. He absorbed the losses. And somehow, he came back this offseason different. Insiders inside the building start to notice it first. It's not loud. It's not flashy. It's in the way Sanders carries himself in the huddle. It's in the presence he has. A calm that wasn't there before, a decisiveness in reading the field that makes veteran coaches raise their eyebrows. Reports start to leak. The kind of reports that ripple through a fan base like electricity. Watson may have entered the spring as the favorite, but Sanders is closing the gap, bridging it. Some say, not with hype, not with talk, with work. And that's when the real tension begins. Because this isn't a competition between a rookie and a veteran anymore. This is a collision of 2 completely different paths to greatness. On one side, Watson, a proven talent trying to reclaim everything injury and time have taken from him, an athlete whose game is built on improvisation, on making defenders miss, on turning broken plays into touchdowns with pure physical gift. On the other side, Sanders, a young quarterback whose game is built on precision, on timing, on putting the ball exactly where it needs to be before the window even opens. Accuracy against athleticism, surgical against explosive. 2 philosophies of quarterbacking, both fighting for the exact same job. The head coach refuses to crown anyone. He knows better than most how deceiving spring football can be. No pads, no real contact, no blitzing linebackers trying to rip a quarterback's head off. It's touch football in shorts and touch football lies. He reminds everyone, again and again, that nothing has been decided. That the team hasn't practiced against a real opponent, hasn't run a live scrimmage, hasn't stepped onto a field where hitting is real and consequences are permanent. Whatever momentum Sanders has built, whatever ground he has gained, it means nothing until pads come on. And that is exactly the crossroads is standing at right now. Because everyone in that quarterback room knows what's coming. Training camp isn't a tune-up. It's a trial by fire. It is where reputations are made and unmade in a matter of practices. It is where every route, every read, every decision under pressure is dissected by coaches who have no patience for excuses. And somewhere in the middle of it all, 2 men who could not be more different will be measured against each other every single day, in front of a fan base desperate for answers, desperate for a savior, desperate to know if this franchise has finally found its quarterback. Watson knows what's at stake. He has already lived through the nightmare version of this story, the injuries, the setbacks, the doubt from a fan base that once wondered if he would ever play meaningful football again. Now healthy, now moving like the athlete he once was, He has one more chance to prove that all of it, the pain, the rehab, the criticism, was worth it. Every practice is personal. Every rep is a statement. He is not just fighting for a starting job. He is fighting to rewrite his own story. And Sanders is fighting something different entirely. He is fighting the perception that he was rushed, that he was miscast, that his rookie struggles defined him. He has heard the noise. He has felt the outside world treat this as some kind of spectacle, some reality show battle for a job. But when asked directly about it, he doesn't flinch, and he doesn't play into the drama. He simply says the outside world sees a competition. He and his teammates see something else entirely. The daily grind of trying to become the best version of themselves, staying ready, staying sharp, showing up. It's a quiet answer, but it carries weight because it reveals exactly the kind of mentality that has allowed him to climb this fast in the first place. 2 men, 1 job, a franchise's future hanging in the balance. And now, with training camp closing in, the countdown has officially begun. Every throw will be scrutinized. Every scramble will be analyzed. Every decision under a real pass rush will either strengthen the case or shatter it completely. This isn't spring practice anymore. This is the proving ground. This is where hype dies and truth is revealed. So when the pads finally go on, when the whistle blows for that first real, physical practice, know this: you are not just watching a quarterback competition. You are watching 2 different visions of what it means to lead a team collide head-on. Accuracy versus athleticism. Discipline versus destiny. A veteran chasing redemption. A rising talent chasing validation. And somewhere in the middle of all that chaos, on a practice field in Berea, Ohio, the next era of Cleveland Browns football is about to be decided 1 rep, 1 throw, 1 decision at a time.